The Business Radicals. The Connect 360 Show.
And then y'all already know. So, yeah, if y'all can hear us, okay. Y'all can hear us. Please share this video. We want to thank y'all for being here.
Invite all of your friends.
Invite your buddies.
Hit that invite button.
Invite your mama. Invite your kids. This is we're no, don't. You might not want to invite your
Maybe
kids.
not the kids.
But yeah, as we were saying, you know, for those who couldn't hear me, yes, I am D Jackson about making things happen. Addicted to the action, yes, and you need to start clapping when I hit the stage because I'm standing next to the lady, the one and only, all about beauty, Miss Portia McGraw. Let them know what you do and how you do it.
What's going on, Portia?
Hey, everybody. All right, I am what you would consider a stylist extraordinaire. All right, so I do the hair, I do the makeup, I do the beauty all together, which is my brand, all about beauty. In the industry, I'm a platform artist, I'm an educator, I'm a hairstylist, I'm known as a braider, all of the above, you know. So I make sure I make my rounds in the industry to make my impact, use my gift.
How long have you been in the business, Portia?
I've been officially licensed for, you know, we got to say the official part because you know how we do it. Basement, kitchen.
Oh, that means she's been trapping out the kitchen since she was a baby.
So we're going to go for the official. Officially 8 years now licensed as a stylist and 3 years licensed as an educator.
Dope. And then you already know we got Justus over here standing. He's sitting next to the hustler, and if you sit next to us, you're probably a customer. Talk to him, Justus.
What's going on with y'all? Everybody, you know, hit that share button. Invite your friends to check this out. You know, so get in tune. If you want to be on the show, let us know.
Let us know. We also want to know what y'all do and share that in the feed. Big shout out to Nicole. Shout out to Oliver Williams. Shout out to Adrian Morton. Shout out to everybody that's watching, man.
What's going on, Jamont?
Shout out to all of our sponsors as well. Fresh Air Network, much love to them as well. If y'all want to get on the platform, get tuned in. Today's show, though, let's get into it. Today's show is we're going to talk about something that's very, very important that affects everybody. I don't care what color you are, how much money you have, but it affects all of us, and that is gentrification. And we're going to talk specifically about some solutions for that. And more so, there's the film. We just did a screening with the film Gentrification this past Saturday.
Last Saturday, phenomenal. About, 700 people came out?
Man, it was 701 people. I don't know if you saw in the back. It was somebody waving that didn't get counted. Man, it was in the corner.
In the cut.
Yeah, man, it was awesome. And let's get into that event really quick. Again, of all the people, please, if you got questions, put that in the chat. The call number is 773-263-2584. You can call with any questions that you have, and we want to answer them. But specifically, we're going to get into the event. But first, I want to ask, I got a question for people. And my question is, when should you quit? When should you quit something like a goal or something in life? And I'm asking that because, man, I think everybody can relate to when you got a goal and you got something you want to achieve that's really, really big. You come across a lot of something really big called an obstacle. And we encountered that this past week with the gentrification. We had a lot of obstacles. The event was great, but it was a lot of obstacles that happened. One of the first obstacles that I saw was when we interviewed the director, Jason Black, and he said he couldn't identify any black people that were doing economics right in America. He said he couldn't find one community that was doing right. And so to me, that was a big...
A couple of weeks ago when we had him on the show.
We had him on the show 2 weeks ago.
So if you missed that, go back a couple of weeks. Like 2 weeks ago, we had Jason Black on the show. Yeah, go ahead.
And that's the thing. A lot of people say, I can do this, I can do that. But they say that until they actually step into a position to do something.
What's up, Andre Joseph? We see you watching. Portia, your cousin James on here, checking you out.
Hey, cousin.
Yo.
Leave them comments.
Yeah, please do. And what happens is, so like, for example, at the show that we had, or at the event that recently just passed, sometimes you got people that want to say, hey, let me join your team, and they don't keep their word. They don't show up on time. They just hold you down, and they make excuses. And they make you want to quit. And you know what I even noticed to a certain extent when the director told us that there was no solutions, I think that made other people want to quit in terms of finding solutions with gentrification. But you know what?
Did he say it was no? What did he say?
Oh, you might have misquoted him, Jackson.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. I don't want to misquote nobody. Much love to Jason Black, but much love to Jason. But I'm gonna just tell you how the energy that I felt for being on the stage that came to me. And
Okay.
and Dre can relate because
Hold
Dre
on,
and I
Dre
he
said
spoke
never
on
quit.
this.
He said Dre says never quit, change the plan. James says you should never quit on a goal. Realignment.
Well, now I'm gonna say this
Ooh,
because I
realignment,
think
yes.
sometimes
There
I think you should quit, and I'm because I gotta be the devil's advocate. I think sometimes you shouldn't quit the big picture, but I think sometimes you do need to realign yourself because sometimes people we're playing ourselves out of position. We're doing things that we shouldn't be doing because we're not qualified for and we're not capable to stay consistent with.
I got
Can
a
you
couple
relate?
things to say.
Go, chime in. Come on, sister.
All right,
preach.
so one of my favorite parts about the movie American Gangster
Yeah.
is when the guy advised Denzel. He said, "Quitting while you're ahead is not the same as quitting." So sometimes you need to know when to walk away. I believe that, before greed starts to get in, or before it becomes consumptuous to you, and now you're no longer the boss. You're no longer in charge, but the business is running you. When that starts to happen, then we have a problem. But as far as when it comes to goal setting and things like that, you need to quit when you're not really in it. So some people should quit before they start.
Yeah,
Some
I
people should
agree.
never started.
Let me tell you, I know people that's laying in the bed right now next to their spouse and their partner, and they have quit their marriage. I know kids that's in school that's going to school every day, but they didn't quit and gave up on education. So what I'm saying is, sometimes we have to be able to check ourselves and realize that we need to realign and look at the purpose of why we're doing something and kind of get
Yes.
restarted.
Yes.
I got a friend of mine right now, and this relates to the movie because, and we're gonna connect it. But a friend of mine, he's been living in this $1,000 apartment for a while.
Okay.
And he was working his sales job, and eventually he said, "You know what, man? The money ain't coming in like it used to. I'm gonna move out, and I'm finna move in with my family again." Now the brother's about 30 years old, and he was really depressed about it. But when I think about it, some of us might be egotistical and say, "Oh man, you moving backwards." But sometimes you do need to reset yourself, realign, and put yourself in a position to succeed. Because many of I don't know if this 208 number is a bill collector or a caller. You need to, if you
Send a text before you.
hey, I'm gonna tell you, I want to go on live on air, and they telling me I owe some money now.
So they see you can't hide.
We can't. They see me, and we know you live.
Right. Chop that phone
So
service.
what I'm saying is, one thing I noticed about other communities, you got the Asian community. One thing that they do, and I'm bringing them up because they have not been gentrified in Chicago at least. But one thing about them is they live very modestly for the most part. You might have 4 or 5 people living in one household, and they're using that money for assets instead of liabilities. So I told and I'm gonna ask y'all, do y'all think that that's something that we could do more of, and why don't we do more of that, of living beyond, lower than our means and saving money and investing in assets versus liabilities?
I tell you why. Our people like to show out.
Right.
Oh, we can't look like we don't have it. No, we got to look like we got it even when we don't have it. That's the thing about it. So some people aren't willing to look like they don't have it long enough to get it. That's the problem.
You talking about driving Bugattis in the hood and going up, and you're living inside a one of those storage containers or something. Did you see that on YouTube? The dude was driving in the BMW and the girl followed him. He was living in a storage container.
No.
Oh man, y'all gotta see
He
that.
had the Bugatti.
What?
He didn't have a Bugatti. But he had a BMW.
Okay.
It was like a brand new 6 Series or whatnot, and she followed, and she had him on live. And the dude she opened up the storage container, and the dude was in there asleep with his pajamas on, just laying in the storage container. He had clothes and stuff lined up. He had a generator in there. I say, man, this brother's out here making moves.
Now, you know they decking out storage containers though now.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm not judging the brother because it might be a good move that he making. I don't know what situation.
I think it's
Maybe we can learn from that.
What's going on, Tanisha? We see you. Lana.
conversation about that. My point is that our priorities and our associations with success has been deemed by something or somebody else, i.e. media, keeping up with the Joneses or what have you. So now when they get those things, they can't understand, like, why is it that people are not respecting me like I wanted to respect after I got this car, after I got this girlfriend, I got this lifestyle. And they give them mixed signals, but then they like, this is all I know.
What's that call-in number, Jackson?
That call-in number is 773 263-2584.
773.
263-2584. You can call in right now.
Call
And
in.
another thing I want to point on, I think he gave, when he said the word culture, I want to tune into that, because when we had this event, this movie screening at the Harold Washington Culture Center, one thing that I noticed that was interesting, now it was a diverse group. Remember, gentrification impacts everybody, not just blacks, right?
Explain gentrification. Many people don't even know what that is.
For those who don't know, gentrification is a process where people are moved out of a certain area if you can't afford to stay there. Basically, prices go up. You know, that's basically what it is. And now there's some misconceptions around. Sometimes people think, you know, it's just like it's a racial thing, and sometimes it's really bigger than racial. You know, even though it does touch races, but that's the gist of it.
It's a class thing, and what happens is that
Classification, exactly.
it's a
It's
class,
a class thing that impacts us the most, though.
Correct.
Yes.
So
People of
we
color.
get the blunt end of it. So in some aspects, a lot of people do see it as
A race thing.
Now, speaking of the word class, let's talk about that for a minute, because class makes me think about school. And at this event, there were some people that was there that looked at this event like school, and some people looked at it like it was a movie. For example, I noticed there was an Asian woman and a white girl. There were quite a few of them, though, but there was two in particular that I saw sitting all the way in the back. They had their notes out. They was taking notes throughout the movie. Now, I spoke with the people before the movie started, and I said, this is not just a movie. Take notes. And you would be amazed, majority of the black crowd was just, they were not taking notes. They were just kind of sitting there digesting it. Now, that's fine. I don't judge nobody, because you got to watch it multiple times. But culturally, why is it that we do so much intellectual masturbation and we look at entertainment as escapism? I mean, we look at stuff like information as escapism versus empowerment. But what do y'all, you know, you know what I
I
mean?
have plenty to say.
Well, I would say in that particular setting, I cannot blame somebody for not bringing.
Cohiba, shout out.
I can't blame anybody for not bringing a pen and paper, because generally when you go to a movie, it's always dark. So 9 times out of 10, you're not in the dark writing stuff down when you're at a movie theater. So I could see how that may be why they didn't bring a pen and a paper. But
Man, them white girls weren't thinking like that. Let me tell you, them white girls, Asian girls, they say we gonna use the light on our phone and we gonna get some game up in here.
I mean, I'm not saying that
Yeah.
it's not relevance to what you said.
Yeah.
I'm saying that we have to teach folks. We have to teach. When you made mention earlier before the show started that, you know, it's 3 kinds of ways in which you can look at this movie. One is, of course, as a fan. Second thing, as a fan that wants to learn and research. And then the other one is as a fan, a researcher, then a teacher. So most people are not on that page, but it's okay. I am championing the ones who came out, and all the people who came out, period.
Definitely.
For whatever reason.
Definitely. Just for coming out, you know, it's a great thing. I'm not in any way judging people, but I'm just looking at the culture in general in terms of what are some solutions that we could begin to practice, you know, to think about. You know, that's all I'm saying. But you're absolutely right. If they came out to the show, that's better than not coming out and not caring at all.
And did they say that they were going to have DVDs for people to purchase?
And
those
a couple
gentrification DVDs coming out in a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of weeks.
And
We
James Adams say you can take notes with your phone. Also, shout
That's
out
right.
to Kurt Cohiba. Yes, free my students. The umbrella. He say get under the umbrella or get caught in the rain.
We got Oliver Williams. He says, you got cities that we can buy back. You know, so you do have you got cities out here.
That's true.
Now-
man.
now-
Rural areas.
Well, first of all, we got to give a damn about that. Let's start right there, because people are not going to put forth effort to do anything unless they care about it. So right now, let's just think culturally, not just with our people, but we know especially with our people, just culturally. I would say nationwide, there's the thing of image. Image is ruling everything right now. So substance is falling by the wayside. So all of the things that we're discussing right now involve substance. You have to knowledge. All of that is internal. Nobody cares about internal. They don't care what they're eating. They don't care what they're learning. They don't care what they're watching or what they're allowing to enter. They don't care who they're allowing to enter them either. So these days, that's what's going on. People don't care about the insides. It's more so about how it looks. What's the image like? What is this? How does this make me look to the world? Because they don't have their own values.
Speaking of that, I want to detour real quick, and we can come right back to this.
Go ahead.
You work with a lot of hair weave. I work with hair weave. There's speaking of people on the outside, because that's what you work with.
Absolutely.
You define people on the outside.
That's right.
There's a lot of people that get down on black women because they wear weaves, and rightfully so in some situations. But what's some of your experiences that you've encountered with women that come back over and over again to get beautified externally? And do you feel like anytime that's due to childhood issues, if they're not working on the inside?
Okay, so we have there's categories to clients like that. All right, so we have the people that are about the vanity. Then some people, yes, it's all about vanity. Some people, it's for cosmetic reasons, like maybe they had some hair falling out in a certain area and they have to cover it for that moment until it grows. Then there are some people that want to, they call cover their crown. And so in that moment, they're taking care of their hair, preserving it, moisturizing it, and doing things like that. So people get weave for different reasons, like people get other styles for different reasons. However, we did hit this phenomenon about 3 years ago or so now, maybe a little more than that, where people were going strictly for the cosmetics. Like there became its own class of weave. There was now, I need to get my inch in my bundles. Then we went from packages and things like that to we got bundles. And it became a status thing like the Jordans. Boo, this weave came from such and such and such and such. And so those people started to do it for reasons of vanity. So there is a classification of people that started to wear weave and get any type of style, makeup, all of that type of stuff. There's a segment of people that do it for vain reasons.
Now, real quick, I want to chime in. Remember, we had a news reporter come down.
Yep.
We had a news reporter, and she did a article at the salon, and she was talking about can spirits impact weave? Like, do people put bad spirits and voodoo and stuff on people's hair? And what was your feedback on that?
Absolutely. I see it happen.
We don't have to call it voodoo, though.
We don't have to call it voodoo.
I'm sorry, voodoo.
You can say because that's what Jackson said. He chose the word energy. I chose the word spirits. I'm spiritual, so I
apologize.
get it.
I take that back. I take that back.
Hexes on the hair.
Yeah, and there are people that sacrifice their hair to idols. They do that, like in these temples and things like that, because people don't know where this hair comes from. And there's a lot of these people that do that for sacrificial reasons.
My question to you all as the viewers, have you noticed a woman that her spirit changes when she puts her weave on? Have you noticed that? A woman that acts a certain way and her whole spirit is just totally different once she throws a wig on or weave. If you notice that, please call in, let us know.
Now, if they hexing the hair, and you saying a lot of sisters wearing the hair in America.
Go ahead. Connect the dots.
Come on. Add it up.
I mean, what's going on here, Jackson? What's your say-so on that?
Conspiracy theory. That's what we gonna call him, Justus.
Yeah, well, I definitely, one thing I know for sure is any physical object that exists can transfer energy, period.
Great.
Even if you don't do it intentionally, just if for example, if I'm just negative and mad at whatever's going on in the world and I'm just always focusing on negativity, right? I can be in your house and I'm in your house and I leave that energy in your house, and guess what? I can eventually die and pass on, and my spirit might still have some negative energy in your house in that bed that I was sleeping in, and now you laying in bed at night and you feeling something rubbing on you, and it's the negative, the negative spirits of, whatever, not me, but whoever left that energy. So
how do you get the hex off the hair?
Oh man, you gotta pray, brother. You gotta pray. Positive intentions. Burn some sage that you can find at the Cultural Connection.
If you roll like I roll, I cast out. I don't play that.
Oh,
exactly.
I rebuke thee, Satan.
Quickly
behind me. Rebuke.
What's going on, Tanya? Cousin Tanya.
Shout out to all of the Christian rappers. That be throwing baptism bars. Shout out to them. I saw a Christian rapper on Facebook the other day. I just wanted to shout him out. I thought it was hilarious. But shout you out, brother. Free G. He said no. We ain't gonna go there. We're gonna leave it alone. But let's get back to the topic, though, folks. So anyway, with this event, another thing that I noticed with this gentrification screening we just had, for those who are just tuning in, we just had the event, and it was interesting. 700 people showed up. And one thing I also noticed is that at the very end,
that's a good number.
A really good number. At the end, I noticed a lot of people wanted to speak. A lot of people wanted to give their opinion, or they had questions. Like so I don't think it was just because the movie was good, even though the movie was great. I think because right now, people are awake. People are seeing that people are looking for real answers. Which y'all that we were talking about specifically with the movie, people were talking about things like how to be able to get into real estate, but even more specifically, because real estate can be complicated for some, just about how are you spending and investing your money, is a small basic thing to think about, right? Andre Joseph, who owns the luxury automotives, he spoke. Chicago Luxury Motors. And one thing he said is for some people, instead of trying to buy the 2018 new car, get you a building that was built in 1960 and invest in that, and maybe even have your family move in, and be able to actually be building on an asset.
Make sure y'all check that out. Chicago Luxury Motors, one of the only black-owned car dealerships in the city, 3750 West 79th Street.
Yonda Wilson, make sure you check that out too. I see you, girl.
Not far from my house.
Yeah. Right on over there, get another whip.
I think also when it comes to solutions, one thing I notice is that some stuff, because some people, one question, because I'm looking at some questions too that were emailed, right? So one person asked, they said, what can they do if they barely make enough money to get by and they just feel like they have to move out? What are some things they can do if they don't have funds to be able to save themselves and save their family?
What do you mean they feel like they have to move out?
Because the prices of everything's going up. Rent is rising. Cost
out
of
the
living
area
is going up. So they got to move out of the city. Period.
And go where?
Maybe a lot of people tell them they saying they want to go to places like Indiana or Minnesota where the gas is cheaper and the weather's colder. But
that's the whole aim of the game. That's how it works. That's
Yeah.
how gentrification works.
That's how it works. Exactly.
That's what it's designed to do.
You get displaced and go to another area, but what's messed up about that is then that new area you go to is even worse than the area you were just in.
Absolutely.
Broker, and then that's only temporary till they move you somewhere else.
Well, check this out. Tomorrow, if you're catching this, what's tomorrow? What's today's?
Today's Wednesday.
So tomorrow is the 24th. We got
23rd is tomorrow. 23rd.
23rd is tomorrow. There's going to be a little continuation of the discussion that happened at the theater last Saturday in regards to some solutions or how to get involved if you're interested in buying property or real estate, home ownership or just investment property. Come on out tomorrow to Culture Connections Corner, 71st and Stewart. There may be some things continuing after that. We'll see. But if you're interested, go on to the website, cultureconnection360.com, and go ahead and click RSVP for that.
Yeah, get tuned in immediately. And again, that call-in number 773-263-2584. Another solution that I saw that was another thing I want to bring up is it's important to answer that the person's question, Kim, who even sent the email about if you broke, what can you do if you don't have money? Politically, this is where we can get politically involved with contacting our local government and really understanding zoning and how certain zoning works. Because what happens is it's a lot of the businesses that come in many times, and you have businesses that might come and they're raising, that raises certain prices because you get certain businesses and stuff that comes in. And you might have a business, and your business isn't zoned for you to do what you need to do in terms of your business, So what I'm saying is there are things you can do if you don't have money, and one of them is contacting your local government, learning more about things like zoning, learning things, and asking them what can be done to, prevent some of these businesses from coming in and raising the prices.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to help.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna tell you like this. That's just temporary. If we want to get down to the
it's
root,
because
we might as well get to the root. Because my thing is, you do want to give people some solutions to buy a little bit of time. That's the most priceless commodity that we have is time. Sometimes if people had a little extra time, it can make the difference in their life. But let's get to the root, right? And the root issue, really, it's about building an economic base, right? That's really the root. I'm not gonna get ratchet with y'all tonight unless y'all want me to. If y'all want me to get ratchet, hey, y'all hit me up and say get ratchet.
Because that root might be ratchet. That root might be ratchet if that's where you're going.
Right. Well, here's the thing.
Y'all holding back today, boy. Get too heavy.
We have to. The solution is a big look. First of all, I'm not finna sit up and claim like I know all the solutions, but I'm gonna tell you what what I think it looks like. I'll say that, and I could be very wrong, but.
Putting the disclaimers out.
Yeah, I'm putting disclaimers out,
at least
right?
6
Because even though it
disclaimers.
say Dr. Jackson, I'm not a real doctor. All right, I want you to know.
They coming after you, brother.
Okay,
All right, let me put your name up
you-
there so folks know.
Oh,
Go
my
ahead.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
put my name up there. Okay, it say Dr.
happy
Jackson, but I'm
birthday
not a
to-
doctor.
Hold on, happy birthday to Kawana, the sister we had up here a couple of weeks ago.
Cool. Yeah. Happy birthday to you, sister.
Yeah, Kawana. So I just saw that.
To Chicago, they didn't
Okay.
expand it. They buying stuff out in Indiana right now.
DePaul,
you know?
too.
DePaul. But then we look at schools like Kennedy King, who
Chicago State.
who is not buying as much. And first of all, I don't know what they're I don't know what they're acquiring right now, because I don't know who is that black. Are they black owned or what? Chicago State.
historical
Well,
black college.
at first of
Yeah.
all, I was about to make an amends to that.
Yeah,
statement.
please,
The
correct.
amends is that's ran by the state.
That's
Because
ran by
I
the
was
state.
on,
So
I was
that's-
on my way there.
Yeah,
right there.
one is the state,
Yeah.
one is the private. So they have different.
They got
ways
different
of which
agenda
can,
on how they
you know,
how they
get
move
down
around.
as far
But
as
then
their
half
money.
these churches are also ran.
So, but to me, that also says, and the community needs to take control over our education. Really, I mean, that's one of the main foundations. Really, is to take control of education. And what I mean by that is, first we can start even with these media platforms like this, and platforms like the
Like
the
Fresh Air
business-
Network,
like
yeah.
Fresh Air Network.
Yeah, absolutely.
The
Fresh
bi-
Air Network.
Shout out
like
to
the
Fresh Air
page
Network.
and subscribe to the YouTube channel. What's going on, Cadero?
Podcasts
CJ?
like this, where you can get educated on, not educated, and get in tune with classes like the Business Bootcamp.us, where you can be able to learn from stylists and instructors like certified people like that sitting next to me on how you can join, get into the the largest area of entrepreneurs in the country, which is cosmetologists and barbers.
Absolutely.
Right, so
Absolutely.
So we need to really start getting into our education using these platforms.
Can I chime in real quick, because I think we're missing a big key part of a core problem. So there's all these different solutions, and there, like you mentioned earlier, there's step-by-step procedures. But one of the first steps that needs to be taken is getting out of the way of one's own self, because a lot of times
There you
people are in
job.
their own way making excuses and then trying to do it on their own. There is nothing great that could be established just by yourself. You have to have some sort of team and getting together with people that not only are like-minded but strong in areas that you may be weak. There's no need in you're one person trying to strengthen all areas. No, let's gather up. Somebody over here is good at this, somebody's good at that. But a lot of times people tend to be in competition with others versus working together. That right there is the core to fix all these problems.
You mean to tell me I can't do it by myself?
You can't. I'm sorry.
I mean, you could.
You can't curl like I curl. You just can't do
You
it.
mean to tell me I can't go in there and curl and press the way you do
can't
all of
do
my
it like
own?
I do
can't
it.
own a salon and do hair
Can't do
and
it like
be
I
able
do
to
it.
to do the booking and take clients. Okay.
I think the most important part is what you're speaking about, Portia, is the fact that we need each other. That's one
Absolutely.
thing. And to understand
CMB,
that
we all we
fundamental
I don't need none
understanding
of
is
y'all.
that
You
okay.
need us.
Hey, and speaking of, nah, keep going.
Well,
Go.
Okay, so when we need each other, it's also having the understanding of the managerial part. And the managerial part is that I may be good at this, but I know I'm not good at this.
So basically,
Yes.
stay in your lane.
And inside of staying in your lane, you are humbling yourself
Exactly.
to be open to somebody to tell them. And then that's when the vulnerable state of how our communities and our culture are not welcoming to say men or women to say that I don't know. You
So
always gotta
basically,
be-
what he's saying is sit your ass down, clown, if you want to turn things around.
Well, it goes
and
back
put
to
yourself in
organization.
position
Like
to
you-
succeed. For all of my ratchet people from, that went to school with me, that's what he's saying.
And,
Okay.
and the thing is that let's you can do a test though, and I charge I challenge our listeners to do a test, and the test is do something by yourself
Yeah.
and see how long it takes.
I do that
and
every
then
night.
do something with somebody
Take a while.
that has a similar interest in whatever it is that you want to do, and then do that with them. The experience is always good. The brainstorming, the actual process of actually doing it is always good. Why? Because you feel like that you're not the only one, and everything is not contingent on if you do what you have to do. It's other people that can help assist, and that way when you lay down and you think about, okay, what did I do today?
Now, I want to speak on that really quick because that's a great point.
Go ahead.
Because we do that in a way, and it's called sex. Okay, because
Wait.
and then, hold on, let me me take it there. I know this is an alley hoop in a whole nother direction, right? It's
Down
been an
there, right.
interception
We
and a
made a right.
turnover.
We
Okay,
made a right.
We made a right on 53rd Street. Where are we right now? Now, when I say sex, it's because a lot of times what I noticed is that's one of the areas that we are quickest to want to collaborate, to get what we want out of it. But the problem is a lot of times we're not doing it with the right people that's in alignment with us, and we're not doing it for the right reason. So what I am basically saying is this. One of the elements that you can do is start eliminating some Negroes out of your circle. That's what I'm basically saying. There's certain people that's holding you back. They might have your last name. They might be sitting next to you right now telling you to turn off the podcast, right? That person right there, that might be somebody that's holding you back, telling you what you can't do. Right. So that's one of the biggest things that we got to realize. And I bring that up because when we were doing the event this past week, one thing I noticed, it was 2 undercover federal agents that I saw that was in the crowd. Now, I can't confirm they was federal
How
agents.
did you know?
But I'm just telling you. I can't promise you nothing, but I'm just telling you what it felt like and what
That's
it looked
what
like.
it felt like again.
I'm just telling you my
man.
instincts, okay? I'm telling you my instincts.
He's down
you
and
ain't
sad.
You can look and say, "Oh, they ain't from around here." Where they from? Okay. They ain't from
Was that the
around
one
here.
you said you ain't feel safe around?
I mean, you know what? I
said it
didn't
was
feel.
one guy walked up on you and was asking you crazy questions, and you say you felt vulnerable for a second. Right?
Well, not him. He seemed like he was just a straight up one of the clowns that need to sit down and turn around. But no, these was 2 other guys. They didn't really talk much. They didn't talk much. But I will say this: another person that we had this one lady that walked up to us at the end. And she just was complaining about everything.
I know who you're talking about.
Everything. I'm talking about she walked up and she said, first of all, brother, let me tell you this. Nobody thanked me when I bought my ticket today.
Right.
Nobody thanked me. Nobody told me that I did a good job, for coming here today.
Oh.
And then she said,
she did say that.
and she had a list. She had a list
of
of
stuff she didn't get
complaints.
thought about.
About
Think
11
about.
complaints.
Right.
Right? I mean, one of them, she said, the sound was bad. She said something about the seat was hurting her butt when she said she was complaining about some of everything. But
I gave her your number so you can follow up with her. She'll follow up with you this week.
well, you know what? Look, let me tell you, brother.
Did you
What
compliment her?
what I did with people like that, we should do a class on that, how to deal with difficult people who complain, right? One thing that I did is I listen. Sometimes you got to listen.
Okay.
Sometimes you just got to make people just want to be
Step one,
heard.
listen.
Then tell 'em
Step
what you-
one is
then
people want to
tell
be
'em what you
heard.
did next. Go ahead.
Okay, you let them be heard. Okay, I listen. And then I agreed with her. I said,
Step
you know
two,
what?
we agree.
You're absolutely right.
Uh-huh.
And then
Okay.
what'd you do after that?
I agree. And then what I did is I
right.
looked to the right and I looked to the
Step
left
three
and
wasn't
I
it? I
saw
know it.
someone else.
Uh-oh.
And I
Who did
said,
you
you know
see?
what? I saw Justus. And I said, that's the man you need to talk to right there. And I said, Justus, come here.
Step three,
And she
send
said-
them
and
off.
then I turned it over to Justus. And I
said,
said,
"Turn it over."
all right, Justus, she got some things to tell you. And I walked away.
Understood.
And that was, and then he took it from there. Now, was that a good, how did it work for
Well,
you?
that's how you got out of it.
That's how I got out of it.
Right.
So she was happy because she got some off her
And
chest.
after I saw she was deranged a little bit, in my opinion, I listened some more.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Listened some more.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her she needs to email whoever she needs to email.
Mm.
We gave her
Yeah.
email address, and I gave her your phone number too, so you can
Direct
follow up with her.
contact.
She'll follow with you, and then it gets squared away. I don't know if she was deranged. Maybe she was just upset about something that happened in the film or a certain segment in the film. But
Yeah.
we know what it was.
But I will
She
say, I
could
do
just
want to.
be upset in general.
It may be, but I do want to shout out the young lady still for coming, because sometimes when people are upset and complaining, we don't know what it is. It could be something beyond us and something earlier happened in their day or something from when they was a childhood they ain't
But
dealt
who
with.
thanks somebody for buying a movie ticket though? That's kind of right there. So you started right there, right? You know.
I think people are just thirsty, man. They
For attention?
thirsty for
I was on my way there, right there.
A lot of people want to be heard.
Attention.
Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah.
attention. We have all these different
'Cause
aspects.
She had a list.
Yeah, and
Wow.
the fact that I know who you're talking about, and I wasn't even around y'all.
Wow.
Because she came to me.
Oh, so it started with you.
So she was complaining everywhere. So people like that are almost like vampires. They will go in the event and they will try to put negative energy on everybody. And
They
before
rolled
you
right
know
back
it,
to the
one or
negativity.
two people can have 100 people infected.
Yeah,
with
she came to me
negativity.
as I don't want to get this petty this petty train continue to go on, but it's true. It's like she was talking about as far as the camera. Nobody asked her to be recorded, and she didn't want anybody to see her face and so on and so forth. And I told her, ma'am, all we did was we recorded the individuals that were on stage. And she kind of looked at me for a minute, and she seemed like she wanted to do something else, but it wasn't anything else that she could say. And then she went back into, well, I don't want to. She went back to her the original rave. So what I want to get out is that the customer service that you guys actually did was the point I'm making. You were there for the woman to complain to or
much love to the sister too.
Much love to the sister.
Because
and it wasn't even my event. I wasn't even required to give a customer service, but we still did it.
But it's just a testimony to a person like her that when she goes home, she said that at least it was some people that cared. Now, whether or not y'all went the extra mile, it doesn't matter. But how many times do we go to certain cultures, events, and you want to share something with somebody, and they're not even open to even receiving what you want to share, or they treat you in a certain way that's not very becoming. So I'm just saying that this is the customer service. This is also the community service. This is also us helping each other. And like you said, Jackson, it might have been a chance where she just wants somebody to listen to her. Because she don't have anybody
probably
at
the
home
dude at home ain't listening to her. Because I was
don't
ask her,
do
hey, are you complaining to the dude that you woke up next to this morning?
All right,
Because that's probably what
You
happened.
definitely
She
did
dealing
it.
with something
You're
at home.
already there.
She probably dealing with something at home. But speaking of people that want to be heard and they don't get a platform enough, one thing that we did is we opened it up at the beginning for people to talk for like a community discussion. But what was interesting is there were a few people that got to talking. And there was one brother in particular, and shout out to this brother. I want to use this as an example of something that happens commonly. But the brother was talking, and he was talking about all these different community events that are going on. You know, there's the event over here. There's a community, a fish fry over here. There's going to be a sweater knitting class over there. And it was all good stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm being a little facetious, but he was saying some good stuff. But you know what's incredible, though, that I noticed is this man is a real estate guru. And he did not mention one thing about real estate. So that made me say, why isn't this brother talking about a skill that we can actually use? Why don't we? Sometimes I find that we miss the opportunity of really bringing skills to the table. And sometimes we because the brother was coming from his heart, it sounds like. And I respect that, with the events. But what do y'all think, are some things that we can do to really build our skills? What are some good skills that we should be using? How can we promote, how's the best way to share our skills with each other, y'all think?
I think sometime when we get in a go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, when we get in an environment where we're comfortable,
Good job.
We don't necessarily put our skills up front because we're comfortable. So I think that particular brother, he saw the type of crowd. It was, I guess, a cultural theme type event to some degree. So that was his default. So sometimes even in social settings, you can go out 100 times and you never know what a person really does unless it just comes up in a conversation. The person could be a real estate agent or a mortgage broker, or they, I didn't know you had the hair thing going on, Jackson. I didn't know Kavon had the studio going. Well, you told me, but I thought you had an event space. So sometimes you just have to, dig a little deeper and, or advertise yourself. That's where business cards come in. But I know that, but you didn't know that he did that.
And speaking of advertise yourself, this is a great platform to do it. We have definitely we got a consistent viewership every single week. If you want to be able to advertise to our viewers on the show, make sure you inbox us because those opportunities are there. And shout out to some of our sponsors like at Virgin Venus Hair. Shout out to also the Culture Connection.
What's going on, Stuart?
Definitely. And shout out to Luxury Auto Chicago Luxury Motors. And also, Lillian Dion, the
That's
salon.
right. Lillian Dion.
Man, I love them down there. They're
What's
awesome.
the address?
22 East 11th Street, South Loop.
Check them out.
Yeah, well, I know your boo probably messed up your hair for Valentine's Day, so get it right because tax season is here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say it one more time.
Lillian Dion Salon, 22 East 11th Street, right in the South Loop.
Check it out.
Cotel Cummins said that to deal with difficult people, she listens, empathizes, apologizes, and then delivers.
I love it.
LEAD is lead is the acronym that she uses to deal with difficult people. But so also, I mean, but in general though, what were some big takeaways that y'all think we can use? I guess if we, getting back to the topic of solutions for gentrification, what do y'all think? Some stuff that y'all are, seeing, that's or got working on.
Recycle the money among yourselves within your community with people as much as you can that resemble you. So you have to support businesses like Lillian, Dion's, Fresh Air Network, Chicago Luxury Motors, just keep recycling that dollar. That's the major thing if you ask in my opinion, because all our money is going outside of the community.
Yeah.
So without, money or finances, the schools, or you can't buy property, you can't do too much of anything if you don't have any money, if you're not recycling the money, it's not coming back to you. So, that's the main thing. So check out people like Dr. Claude Anderson, watch films like Gentrified or 7 a.m., things like that. So that's the main thing in my opinion.
I think entrepreneurship is always the big winner for myself. Is how do you? I'm always thinking of how people really feel about themselves, and it's generally taken away from how much money you got and what kind of environment you're in. And what that means is that I feel like entrepreneurship gives a person meaning in a certain community, value. And it also gives them an opportunity to share whoever or whatever their talent is to people for a charge, for a service. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it also gives them the opportunity to brush up on their social skills, treating people right, understanding that what goes around comes around. So you can't, and then, of course, I may mention about this before, that Chicago is big, but it's small. So if you do somebody wrong in Chicago, then 9 times out of 10 it's going to come back. Mm-hmm. So that community kind of approach that entrepreneurs sometimes have to abide by because it's so small, I think that's something that we as entrepreneurs sometimes neglect, making sure that is something that they teach their kids. That's my point.
Spiritual foundation.
I was going to add that I think we need to start having more meaningful conversation, because I think that there's a small percentage of people that are aware of all of this stuff that's going on, all these things that we're talking about, but there's a great large percentage of us that don't even know what's happening around us. So these people tend to have meaningless conversation, and I think that those of us that are aware, maybe you can entertain it for a little while, but let's not be consumed with this meaningless conversation, because that's all we're going to continue to have is the ignorance that's going around.
So if we're going to talk about a meaningful conversation, let me get meaningful a little bit and take it just back spiritual for a second. And that is, I want to talk to some of the Christians that are out there. All right? Because I love Christians. I grew up around a lot of Christians. Some of my best friends are Christians. But how can you sit up and say, I believe that, this is a saying that most people say, I believe that I can do anything through Christ who strengthens me. But yet then you don't practice that in your day-to-day life. You're not going out there walking in faith. You talk the talk, but you ain't did nothing. And that's my thing. You got it. It's more than faith. It takes some action.
Did you get the Reverend voice? Are you getting the Reverend voice?
Well, the word definitely says faith without works is dead. So that part is what people forget.
So how can we, that's like I said at the beginning, there's so many people that say, I can do this, I can do that, but they ain't actually out there, trying and putting in that effort. You don't even want to have faith in working with your brother. Come on now, you don't even want to have faith in putting your money in the black bank or investing that money into your business. But you're talking about, I believe that I can do anything. Come on now, you're lying to yourself. Look, and that's okay because we all do it sometimes. But you need to sit down, clown, and turn things around, look in the mirror, and come on, and see things clearer. Michael Jackson made a song. What was it called? Man in the Mirror. Come on, y'all need to speed it up. Come on now, y'all listening too slow right now. Listen. The call-in number is 773-263-2584.
Reverend Dr. Jackson Show.
Reverend.
You see him moving in the
What's the brother in New York?
Did the voice go up a different octave? Did it go up a level?
Reverend Ike.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Reverend Ike.
You remember Reverend Ike? That's you.
Reverend.
I don't even know who Reverend Ike is.
You didn't know about Reverend Ike?
Is Reverend Ike the one was talking about spiritual money? How money is spiritual?
Close.
Oh, yeah. I think I know you're talking about. Oh yeah, if y'all want to donate, the
Send your
PayPal
donation
address
on
is
there.
waterproduction@gmail. That's the email address where you can donate.
And
Yes.
I'm just gonna say shalom to my Hebrews out there, wherever y'all at.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So listen, we're going to begin to conclude, but if y'all enjoyed this show today, this is the conversation that y'all should continue with us. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, we're going to be in Chicago, 71st Stewart.
71st and Stewart. It's gonna be a follow-up discussion to the film Gentrified that the Harold Washington Cultural Center had a screening of last Saturday. So check it out. If you're a real estate agent, mortgage broker, or if you want to learn how to buy property or real estate or whatever. It's just a follow-up discussion, somewhat informal, but it will become more structured as we go. Just bring your solutions or your ideas. Corner 71st and Stewart, Culture Connection, and it might stay there, it might move around. Just stay tuned.
And this is tomorrow.
This
right?
is tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah, and don't if you want to prepare a little bit, that's even better.
Knock
Meaning
it off
bring
early, I might
something.
go.
Make sure your phone is charged so you can take some notes with your phone or
Come on,
something.
notes.
But Portia, what you got going on? I know you doing a lot.
Many things, progress, growth. Looking to open up my own salon this year. That's definitely in the making. I know it's been a long time coming. I took a
job.
pause in life. I had to get it together. But you know what? Here we go. So I am relaunching myself this year.
What areas you thinking about opening up a salon?
I like the South. I'm a South Side girl. So,
Okay.
yeah, not too far from here. Somewhere in between where I work now and where I am now.
Let's make it happen.
That's
Yeah,
right.
how can people get in touch with you, follow you? Or?
Oh, you can follow me. Oh, well, first of all, I'm on Facebook as my name, Portia McGraw. I'm on Instagram and Twitter, Snapchat, all of the following at All About Beauty, All About BEAU_T.
If you got any ideas, link up with Portia. Let's help her get that spot open.
Absolutely.
Right.
Definitely. And speaking of that good hair, make sure y'all visit virginvenus.com. They definitely got some sales going on. I was just informed about that earlier today. But you can catch me, yes, Dr. Jackson 360 across all platforms. Make sure you follow me. Follow the Instagram. YouTube, make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube page. Yes, Hustler Nation 360.
You can catch us all this Saturday at Something Like It Black.
Some like it black.
We're doing a
I love it black.
300 group. Keith Bernard, Jeff the Illest, John Meek.
That's like on
KB,
Cottage Grove, like 43rd.
43rd,
Something
Something Like It
Grove.
Black Cafe. We're doing a Dilla Day edition of the 7-inch soul vinyl. So check it out.
You got your Thursday piece too that you do at
Thursday
Reds.
at Reds. Yeah, DJ Jeff the Illest and the 300 group and KB over at Reds on Stony Island. So slide by. Both of these are African American owned venues. So let's support each other and listen to some good music at the same time.
And the documentary, we developing, working on that. We just got some really good footage. We building on it, man. It's going down. If you want to be able to contribute to that, again, you seriously can put a donation towards that at the waterproduction@gmail.com or check out the Kickstarter page as well. But last thing I want to say is, Kavan, did you have the video uploaded that I sent you for the outro video?
On Sean Peace.
No,
Get on here with us.
That's okay if you don't.
Can I give a shout out to y'all
See,
real
Hey
quick,
Brown
just for
Girl.
this
What's
show?
up, Hey Brown
I think
Girl?
this is awesome.
Thank you.
What you all are
Thank
doing,
you.
taking a
Thank
step in the right direction, being innovative
Yeah.
and
We're trying to be
leaders.
positive.
Yes. this is
Hey,
awesome.
it's a little ratchet too, and if you if you can
sometimes you gotta
relate,
give ratchet so people can understand that
I wouldn't
language.
say ratchet, I'd say
informal is a better word. I'm gonna stop
Say
using
ratchet.
ratchet.
It's
I'm gonna
not
stop
ratchet.
using it.
Informal,
Yeah.
touch a ratchet, however we want
But
to
if
put it.
you want to
it
be
works.
on our show, if you want to advertise on the show, you want to be our next guest,
Link up
and
with us.
link up on the inbox. Also, tune in. I just uploaded another video to the web series that I have on YouTube, where we doing all of the subliminal audio programming tools, because you can be able to change everything about you, even your name, but it starts with your mind and how you program yourself. And we're all programming ourselves every single day. We're just not aware of that. Your brain is constantly recording, and even if you don't agree with what you're seeing, it's still being downloaded into your brain, and it's going to impact how you act subconsciously.
It's every single thought. Every single thought.
Which, listen to.
Everything in your entire environment.
Mr. Trap music.
Everything in your environment. Well, and
That's probably why he's.
And sometimes that's good. And sometimes that's good. And in fact, a lot of our programming, we use a little bit of trap music energy to some of the program, because the thing, what I love, let me tell you what I love about. Yeah. Y'all want to hear some of the trap? Yeah.
Great debate.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, just tune in. We just uploaded a video today. Y'all can see that on Hustler Nation.
La, what's going on? Twisted Rose Metal.
Yeah, I believe in me. If you believe in you, make sure you tune in to the YouTube page, and we gonna see. All right. So with that being said, I'm so happy you came here today. You don't understand.
Hey, if
We're
you want
so
your
happy.
own show, link up with Fresh Network.
Aren't y'all happy that Portia, that P Diddy came out today?
Oh, thanks.
Y'all
Yeah,
show her
that's good.
some love.
Thank you.
Appreciate the
I
energy.
appreciate it.
And
Thank you for the
come
invite.
back anytime.
And next week it's going down. We just getting started. All right, so don't miss next week, because we finna continue. We're gonna have another hot professional up in here, and y'all don't want to miss that show. So stay tuned. Follow us, Fresh Air Network, the Connect 360. Yes, where we keep you connected. Peace.
Right. Stay connected. Check out the old videos too. You know, what's this? How many weeks we been doing this? About
This is
17 weeks. Wow, that's something. Doesn't seem like 17.
consistency, baby. Don't give up.
Wow.
Key Spice was supposed to call in. He ain't call in. That was
You can reach your goals. You can reach those dreams. But sometimes, in addition to having the courage to try, you gotta learn to deal with failure.
Jackson.
Keep it moving. Are you going to give up? Or are you going to go forward with the confidence that you can overcome failure? Do you have the courage to try? I walked a mile with success, and we chatted all the way. But not a thing that I really learned from what success had to say. And then one day I walked with failure, and not one word said he. But oh, if you only knew the lessons I learned while failure walked with me. You can reach your goals. You can reach those dreams. But sometimes, in addition to having the courage to try, you gotta learn to deal with failure.
What is failure? It really doesn't exist. There's really only your results. It's a numbers game. You're one step closer to where you want to be. The only way you really fail is when you quit. This is designed to make you stronger. Things get easier once you get better, but you get better once you get things going.
You can reach your goals. You can reach those dreams. But sometimes, in addition to having the courage to try, you gotta learn to deal with failure. You gotta learn to deal with those who don't believe in you. You gotta learn to deal with people who laugh at your dreams. There are some big shots out there that are doing real well. But you know what? A big shot ain't really nothing but a little shot who just kept on shooting.
Jackson.
You see, when he ran into the challenges of life, he didn't throw up his hands and quit. He just kept shooting. And now, he or she is a big shot.
Jackson.
What you lack in talent, you make up with the numbers that you go through. Surround yourself with people with strengths where you have weaknesses. Surround yourself with a dream team who supports you, who pushes you. Surround yourself with an elevator friend. Somebody's gonna take you up instead of taking you down. Remember, success is a habit, but so is failure.
I learned in life, each one of us has a destiny. And you've got to want that God-given destiny more than anything in life.
The only time that success comes before work is in the dictionary. So get up, keep it moving.
Jackson.